No, Sirski, that was not what it was giving. It was
Ooh.
another lesson.
It was
okay.
It was a whole other lesson, and that's fine because guess what? It brought me to the journey where I am now, and I'm finally realizing that I am becoming her.
You are now listening to The Mental Breakdown.
What's up, everyone? It's Earth to Asia.
And Journey with Jazz.
And welcome back to The Mental Breakdown. Yet again, another week. Here we are, back at it.
Back at it again with another episode.
So last week, we talked about finding my purpose, living life through your divine purpose. And this week, we'll be talking about living a balanced and healthy lifestyle. Have your cake and eat it too.
Because you can have your cake and eat it too.
And you know, go ahead. What do you say?
I'm about to say whoever said that was wrong. You can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
What's the point of having the cake if you wasn't gonna eat it?
And when I really was really diving into my, starting to dive into my healthy journey, like I was having a hard time with that. Like I thought that I could not have my cake.
Oh, for sure.
But,
go ahead. We always start like this. We always start like talking over each other. And then, anyway.
I know. Okay. I was just going to say before you got too into it, before we got into the conversation, I wanted to ask, how are you doing today, Jazz?
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, this conversation is near and dear to me and Asia's heart, so we could talk all day about this. But today has been a great day. I always start the day talking about work because I'm always at work. Ask me where I'm at work. But you know what? I'm making money. We making boss moves all summer long. So it's been a great day. I got some things to get done. But overall, I'm just grateful to be here. Grateful for another episode. Grateful to converse with my bestie better than the resties. How you feeling, Asia?
I'm doing well. So today, what did I do? Today I was a little bit more productive. Okay, so yesterday, talking about healthy stuff, Asia wasn't getting the proper intake of really anything. It's not that I was sitting here eating junk. I just really wasn't eating anything. Like I was dehydrated. I wasn't putting greens into my body. I put maybe a little bit of fruit in my body, but like just a little bit because it wasn't that much here. Now it is. We got some fruit in the house. But, you know, Asia was just feeling down, so I could barely do anything. But today, I got, after I refreshed and rejuvenated my body, I was able to get a few things done. So I worked a little bit with the podcast stuff. I worked a little bit with I didn't get a chance to work with my yoga stuff today. But I got some business. Say all that to say I got some business done today. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
We love a productive day. We love that for you.
Yes.
Talking about the conversation at hand, I guess, I could start with, my journey with food. We can both start with our journey with food because
I was going to ask you. I was going to start like that too.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll go ahead. I'll start the conversation. So I grew up eating whatever, like any ordinary family, like eating whatever. Now, my mom was very, I guess you say against, not really against because we still ate it, but like she was very intentional about the amount of red meat and pork that we ate. So I never really was a big red meat or pork eater, but I was a heavy chicken, heavy turkey, heavy, I guess, ham-ish, like on special occasions, but yeah, things like that. And our nutrition was very much like a normal household. Like we ate cereal and we always had candy and junk food and all that stuff, which is great. Like that stuff is great. I still have those things in my house today, but right. A pinnacle part of my eating habit happened when I went to college, and really, I tell everybody the same story. Like, I met this boy. I thought I was in love with him. It was a whole situation, but he went vegan, like cold turkey, just out the blue. Was just like, I'm going to stop. And I think he was at this point in his life where it was so much changing, and it was so much changing in a negative way. He felt like he needed to take control. And so he took that control with the food that he ate. But with that, it was very toxic. And even eating healthy, it was toxic because it was like he would go 3 and 4 days only eating bananas, or he would eat like a whole pack of grapes for the whole day and that was it. Or, he was very restrictive on the things that he ate. Like he could only eat these types of chips because they only had these certain ingredients in it, which is cool. Like check your product, the ingredient list, check all that. Like you need to do that. But it was like very toxic. But me, at the age that I was at, I was like following behind that. So it was like, I'm gonna go vegan too. Whatever he's doing, I'm gonna do it because I just was like, so I guess enwrapped in him that I was just like, I'm just gonna do what he does. Everything that he does is perfect. Everything that he does is right. So I'm gonna do it.
It's so funny because it's like, as soon as you brought that up, my mind just went to that apartment. Like I can see the apartment as you're talking.
literally.
The apartment, and I can see the kitchen.
And that kitchen had nothing but fruit and tortilla chips. That was it.
I wasn't even in there like a lot, but from what I do remember, yeah,
that was it. And so it became very toxic for me. Like food I can't say I had an eating disorder, but food was very toxic for me. And I quickly became aware of that. Like food was not fun for anymore. I didn't even want to eat anymore because it's just like I felt so restricted. Like I don't even want to eat a bag of grapes. Like I'm just not gonna eat anything. And so then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be vegan. I'm gonna try pescatarian. And I guess you could say I'm still kind of pescatarian because I eat fish on occasion, mostly when I go out and I don't really have anything to eat other than fish on the menu. But other than that, I'm pretty plant-based. But I went pescatarian. That was really cool. I loved it. It was great. Like I was restricted, but I was becoming more intentional and more mindful behind the foods I was eating and why I was eating those things. So then that was cool. And then I kind of went on this, I'm only going to be vegetarian for a month. And then so I've just been going back and forth between vegetarian and pescatarian ever since then. My relationship with food is still not the best. Like now that I'm on my own and having to cook for myself, it's becoming a challenge to eat because I have to make all the food that I want to eat, or I have to purchase all the food that I want to eat. So that's becoming a bit of a challenge, but I guess a good challenge because I'm beginning to really figure out what I like, figure out what I don't like, and really begin to find what balance means for me. So yeah, that's kind of like my journey with food. But Asia.
So my journey probably started at the end, I want to say 11th or 12th grade of high school.
Hey, this is Future Editing Asia, and I just wanted to say that my journey actually started a little bit before 11th and 12th grade because I cut out the beef and the pork earlier on, like maybe even middle school, I want to say, and we were only eating turkey and chicken. But then it came to 11th and 12th grade when I became pescatarian.
So started with my brother because he was really into the natural lifestyle first. Well, I'm not going to say first, but he started the food thing first. He introduced me to the food portion of it. When I say that my favorite meal used to be ham, mashed potatoes, and string beans, I mean the ham with the circle bone in the middle.
Or like with the little pineapples?
The little pineapples.
You never had pineapples on your ham?
Maybe I have. Wait, no, maybe I have. No, maybe I have, but that's not what I'm talking about. Maybe I have.
Oh, no, ma'am. We talking about a country ham, like a little ham steak.
Not the ones not just the circle ones and you put the little slit in it. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the big ham. You can buy like a piece of a slap of ham. Uh-oh.
You frozen, bro.
It paused for a second. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You could buy a slap of ham and it literally had like a bone on it. It had like a circle bone. And that was my favorite. Like even to the point one time, y'all, I've always loved home cooked meals. I'm gonna get back to my journey for a second, but just listen.
This ham just got me weak.
But listen.
Very specific.
There's more. One time, because I've always been a person where I like home cooked meals. Mm-hmm. I had a birthday party at the house. It was a sleepover, and I said, "Mommy, I don't want pizza. I don't want pizza. I want ham and mashed potatoes and string beans." And everybody sat there and ate that ham, mashed potatoes and string beans at my birthday party. At my birthday party.
No way.
At my birthday party.
You had niggas eating Thanksgiving dinner for your birthday.
I did because that's what I wanted, and it was my birthday.
It's your birthday, bro. Eat your ham steak.
And they ate it, though, but they ate it.
And I'm sure it was great. I'm sure it was smackable. I'm sure it was bussin'. Anyway. Oh, but that tickled my spirit. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So after all of that, after all the ham that I took in, you know, with the honey and stuff on it.
The honey.
Yes. In 11th and 12th grade, I finally started to transition just because my brother was talking a lot about health foods and how we should be eating, and oh, you should go pescatarian. I mean, like, he had the locks like me. He was all into it. And so we're like, okay. And I always like followed behind my brother for the most part. Like, he put some hot sauce on his food. I put some hot sauce on my food. Like, I just followed him. So it was that type of thing, but I ended up loving it, and I ended up just eating that way. Like, I would take my lunch to school. It would be all like veggie. Of course, I didn't take a fish to school because who's gonna do that? But like, it would all, most of the time I would eat vegetarian at school. Sometimes it would be, you know, junk in my bag, or sometimes I might go get some French fries from the like lunch line or something. But I didn't have no meat. And I remember like at the lunch table, like everybody, not everybody, but some people, I wouldn't say made fun of me, but they always were like curious with like what I had, because I didn't want to eat that lunch, that stuff that was at school, except for the fries. So, actually, I've been taking my stuff. I've been taking my lunch to school before that, though. Even when I was eating meat, I've always been very picky with what I eat, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of when my relationship with food changed, and when I started eating healthier. And as I moved went into college, I met Jasmine, and Jasmine was on the same type of wave. Like, by the time we really, really became friends, because like she said, she met a guy who was into that. And then like, it just kind of clicked, because it was like, oh, you into that too? And then that's how that happened. And we eventually became roommates, and we started like just experimenting with different things, different foods, different snacks.
We had got a kitchen in our apartment. So then we started buying groceries and just like cooking together and stuff like that. So
one time we made a pizza. Oh, I gotta tell another story. Remember somebody ate my pizza? I was actually mad. I was so mad.
Ate your pizza, bro? What are you talking about?
And Jasmine was like, but you didn't tell me that somebody couldn't have your pizza. And I was like, but bro, I wanted to wake up to that pizza. But we were actually
I remember that, because that pizza was actually really good. It was when we made it from Food Line, wasn't it? And we had like Wine Wednesday.
Cass ate my pizza.
I sure did, but it technically, if we're
no, it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
No, because I remember we made it. Oh, we had.
Can I say his name? Huh? Can I say his name?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, Cass ate my pizza.
You know what?
It was Cass.
Pizza. He sure did, but I let him eat it. He was like, "Can I have this?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. That's how. Man,
did eat that pizza. But that was a pizza we had made from the Food Line dough, right? We had a Wine Wednesday. We made pizza and salad, and all of our friends came over. We did homework, drank wine, and ate pizza, and it was smackable. And in the morning, Cass was like, "Can I smack this pizza?" And I was like, "Yeah." And Asia didn't tell nobody she wanted the pizza, so I was like, "Go ahead."
And I woke up late, and then my pizza wasn't in the refrigerator. I was hot. I was hot because, like, don't y'all just hate when you know you had something
good and ready,
and somebody eats it?
You know, and I felt bad because I'm like, I know that feeling. Like, I know that feeling when
I tried to remake the mouth pizza. Ready. I tried to remake the pizza, and it just didn't taste. I mean, it still was good, but it didn't taste like that.
It wasn't gonna come out the same way because you was ready for that slice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's here and gone, and
it's okay. But I mean, we say all that to say that we started experimenting with stuff within our kitchen. Even before we had a kitchen, like it was really Jazz who introduced me to certain snacks, and like even like different some substitutes. Like some substitutes I did know about, like the veggie nuggets and stuff like that. And we would have like the black bean burgers with like in the cafeteria. But Jasmine definitely, I feel like she started experimenting like at the grocery store before me, and being with her, bringing stuff in, where I live. I was like, "Oh, can I try that?" And then I started kind of experimenting, like just trying to get different things at the store. And she was like, "Oh, can I try that?" And then it just kind of was that type of like thing
Yeah.
that we
And
had.
also like I will say I have very, very supportive parents. So I know like some people who try to start a healthier eating lifestyle or they try to change their diet, their parents will like cook the same things, won't accommodate for them, won't make, do things for them. And my mom was very much like, we go to a cookout, she's bringing me vegan patties so the person on the grill can cook me my
Can cook.
vegan burgers. You know what I'm saying? Like she makes chicken for dinner or chicken Alfredo. She'll make sure she make me a little pot by myself with just some Alfredo and maybe some salmon or something like that. So my mom was very accommodating, and she actually bought me, like I have like 6 or 7 cookbooks. She bought me like vegan cookbooks for Christmas, and she used to send me like recipes. And one thing about me is like when I get excited about something, I go in. So I was like looking at YouTube videos, like I found all these vegan cooks on YouTube, and I was like healthy breakfast, healthy dinner, all these types of things. And I got really, really into that. And so that's when I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna go buy this. And then that's when I guess Asia started, like, oh, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna try that. So I had a really supportive family too that really helped me with my journey. So I would say they're very integral in me being able to be so knowledgeable and also be able to continue the lifestyle because they didn't put up a resistance. My dad still makes jokes every now and again saying I eat like a rabbit and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's all love. It's all love.
Yeah, mine too sometimes, but actually like my dad, he's a health freak as well. Like he still eats meat and stuff like that, but he still, like you said, might crack a joke every now and then. But actually he like loves like his protein stuff with like the healthier protein stuff, and like he eats his fruits and vegetables, makes smoothies, make sure he takes certain vitamins. My dad has been running since he was like in his 20s, like 20 years old. He still runs. Like I mean that man jogged miles. I was like, he jogged more than me. But yeah, so like, and also like my mom, she did not, when my brother was introducing us to the different things, she still eats chicken and turkey, but she no longer eats the pork and the ham. I mean the pork and the red, what am I trying to say? The pork and the beef. The pork and the beef. So she's also like healthier. She like, has her, I don't want to call it a charcuterie board because she doesn't necessarily make the board, but like she definitely has her like fruit trays and like little fruit bowls, and like she loves her little cheese and crackers, and so she definitely knows how to, and she just does eat salads and her greens and everything. So I definitely have it around me, but it's not as much as myself, my brother, and Jaylis. And also I don't think I know Jasmine mentioned that she's more so vegetarian and kind of pescatarian too sometimes, and that's kind of me too. And I feel like I'm trying to, at this point in my life, I'm trying to incorporate more me being more vegetarian and vegan versus pescatarian, just because I don't know, like just the meats in general. I didn't even say this. So basically for almost 5 to 6 months, I almost went vegan. And almost went vegan. And after that experience, it was a good experience for the most part. But after that experience, like my body is just like, yeah, I don't want to go back that way. Like I have to really, really limit my cheese now. Like, I remember I tried to transition and like stop eating eggs like fully. And Jasmine was like, "What are you doing, Asia? Because that's not you." But literally, I had a whole hormonal imbalance. Like the side of my face was breaking out. I had an issue during my cycle. Like it was just, something was just off track, So yeah, I tried to. Bless you.
Thank you.
So being that I had that experience, I'm trying to like, not even that I'm trying, but my body's just not as used to the fish anymore. So I'm more so, I guess I would say, vegetarian than pescatarian as well.
Yeah. And I would say like when I also changing your eating habits, you begin to see how it starts to affect your body, both negatively and positively. So like like Asia was saying, like some people promote this vegan lifestyle, like no eggs, no dairy, no meat products, no none of that. But for some people, like you need that protein, you need that type of supplement in your diet.
Or
Now,
just if you're gonna take something out, you just have to make sure you're replacing it, and
with
just
something,
yeah, it's really a thing that you have to be knowledgeable about. Like you have to know what you're doing, because you really can harm your body in the process of trying to do something right. And I get what you're trying to do, but
yeah,
sometimes you move too fast and you don't replace what you're taking out because you still need certain vitamins.
yeah. And I think also like there's this misconception that being vegan means you're healthy, which is not true, like
There's
at
vegan junk.
all.
There's vegan junk. If you put too much
Vegan
soy in your body, that's not good either.
those vegan meats and all those things, like so for me, meat is not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think that genetically Black people are meant to consume as much meat as we do. And that's just a whole different conversation. But I don't think we're meant to consume that much meat. But if you do, it should be in moderation, right? And I feel like the same is with the vegan meats. I think people, they want to go to this vegan lifestyle and they just switch from eating regular meat to vegan meat. And it doesn't line up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I just feel like people, when you start to, if you're trying to like transition out of a lifestyle, don't just go straight from replacing regular meat to other meat. I eat those meats when I'm like craving meat. You feel me? Like when I'm like, I need a burger. Like I could go for some chicken wings right now. I'll go get a Impossible Burger or a Beyond Burger or whatever, or whatever. But I feel like it's more about eating whole foods and more about eating foods that are sustainable for your body. Because I always think about food that I'm eating, that's what's fueling me. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna sit here and eat chicken wings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's what's fueling you. There's and to think about, there's really no macronutrients other than proteins. You're not getting your essential amino acids. You're not getting any vitamins. You're not getting any minerals. And you know what I'm saying? So it's a balance. It's definitely a balance. But
And also it's like,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say also it's like what you put into your body is what's gonna come out.
Yeah.
So if you, I mean, obviously, yes, brush your tongue, and that has a lot to do with smelly breath. But also, some people got shit breath because they put shit in their body. Like,
and if we're being honest, your shit shouldn't stink. It should not. Like, obviously, it ain't supposed to smell like roses because it's waste.
It should not be so foul that it smells like death.
Yeah, or that you have to air out your bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So I think it because like once I started changing my dietary habits, I started to really be able to see the effect that food had on my body. Mm-hmm. And when I eat certain things happen to my body. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I think the intentionality behind it is really the most important and the best lesson that I've learned from changing my habits is like, okay, you can eat that ice cream cake, but be prepared in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna be fun for you then, you know, and that's cool. But just recognizing and understanding what works for me, what works for my body, and that not way may work for Asia. That may not work for you, but know what works for you and not just eating just because you're hungry.
And also, like, I know the girl, I can't think of her name on YouTube, but she was talking about how men and women, like, sometimes we can't eat exactly the same because kind of speaking on what I was talking about, the hormonal thing is different.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I kind of was dealing with somebody who was vegan as well, and he was very hardcore on it. Like he went raw vegan and doing all this crazy, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna call it crazy, but like he
it was extreme.
It was to the extreme. And it was too fast for me. Like I can't necessarily do that because my body will just, my hormones are different because I'm a woman, and also I'm just a different person. So you just have to be careful of the recommendations that people are putting out there. They could be good, but just make sure that they align with you and your body and what you got going on, because you don't want to hurt yourself. And they'd be like, well, wait, this person told me that this was healthy and this was going to be good for me. But yeah, it can be good for you, but just make sure you're doing it the right way for you.
Yeah. And it's crazy because every time I think about this conversation, I think about me and Asia were really heavy on this girl. Her name is Earth Mama Medicine on YouTube.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and she was heavy vegan. Like she was raw vegan at one point. She was doing all of these fasts, and she was hardcore on live a vegan lifestyle for yourself and also for the sustainability of the planet, right? And then one moment I turn around and she's like, "This is why I stopped being vegan." And I was like,
yeah, when I saw that, I said, but she was talking about the same thing that I was talking about. She had the hormonal imbalance and she started incorporating it.
Yeah. And she eats beef and chicken and all that stuff now. Now, mind you, she raises her own meat. She lives on a farm. Like it's not, this industrialized meat that she's consuming. It's very sacred to her. Like she has this whole ritual that she does when she kills her meat. She goes the whole 9 yards. I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but it's working for her. And from somebody who I really was looking up to as a vegan enthusiast, and somebody who I was like, okay, like I would kind of want to be on her type of wave, to now eating all types of meat and things like that. It's like, you got to know can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, because it said the internet was unstable. But you got to know what works for you. And for her now, that's working for her. For a moment, I think she was vegan for like 10 years or something like that. It's a long time. And now, she's moved on to eating meat and things like that. Like I said, her meat is very clean, sustainably sourced and all these things. But you got to find out what works for you and your body and listen to your body. That's
what I was going to go into next. I think the way that I eat based off of what my body is like. I know how to like listen to my body. I eat with what my body is telling me is okay or what it wants to eat.
Yeah, intuitive.
It's intuitive eating. Like I know when my body needs something green. I know when my body needs just different things. It'll let me know. So if my body needs greens, like I know that my body needs greens. If my body needs something hearty, I definitely know I need some potatoes. I need some something. If I just need just some fruit, I know that too. And if I just need some water, I definitely know that my skin will for sure tell me that.
Okay. And that's one thing about it is like, sometimes when you're hungry, you're just thirsty. Like that's like a legit like scientific thing. Like sometimes like you just might be dehydrated. You just need a good glass of water. And recently I've been trying to regulate my water intake, because I'll find that when I don't drink a lot of water, it affects my energy levels too. Like if I'm not drinking water, I'm like very fatigued. Like I'm very tired earlier in the day. And I also work out really heavy. So I can tell when I need some water. Like I start getting a headache. I start, my breath starts to like, when you feel like your breath smells bad.
Like that saliva.
Like stale.
Saliva.
Yeah, like it's like dry, and like you just know when you talking, it's just hot air coming out. Yeah, I'm like, you need some water. Or my lips start getting real white real fast. So yeah, just being more intentional and more mindful about the food that you eat. Really, you become very like aware of self and aware of your body in another way. Like I think we talk a lot on this podcast about being mentally and emotionally aware, but like food interacts with you in a way where it's also adds to your physical awareness as well as emotionally and physically. Because like if I'm in a low vibrational state, I'm craving some low vibrational things. Like I want to go eat a cheesecake, or I want a burger, or
and like that's kind of like, I mean, I don't want to say typical, but it's shown in the media, like you see on TV or in movies, like, oh, when you break up with your boyfriend, go get you a carton of ice cream, or go get you some cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like when you're as a woman on your cycle, like you always craving chocolate and ice cream, things like that. And that's a hormonal thing. And that's another thing too. Like I'm so in tune with my body that I'm like, oh, I'm craving chocolate. Yep, it's coming. Don't even worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think food has a lot to do with my energetic frequency at the time too. Like when I'm vibing high and I'm feeling great, I want a smoothie. I want a salad. I want something that when I eat it, after I eat it, I feel alive. I feel, nourished but full.
Right. And I kind of got out of like one of my favorite foods, also a lot of Black people, I'm sure, soul food. I love soul food, but my love for it kind of has declined because I don't like that feeling of feeling sleepy and
catching the itis.
I don't like it anymore. Like,
yeah.
I mean, of course, like I used to like crave, like I cannot wait till, oops, sorry y'all. I cannot wait till Thanksgiving. I can't wait. But like, I don't really crave it like that anymore, And when I do feel like that, I'd be like, dang, I shouldn't have ate that. Like I knew I shouldn't have ate that.
And that's another thing too. It's like when you do indulge in those things that aren't healthy, I don't want to feel bad about eating them. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to have a good relationship with all the food that I eat. So whether it's, I don't know, a piece of cake or a piece or an apple, I want to feel good about eating either of those and knowing that I have a healthy balance between the two, because too much of one thing is never good. Like people who tell you that they calorie count and only eat this and this and this and this, like they're mentally not well. I have a friend who does bodybuilding, and she says she literally has to go to counseling because she has what is that disorder? Body dysmorphia, because of her calorie counting and the way that she eats, and like having to literally track every single thing that she eats, and like only eating, she has to eat certain hours of the day and only eating this amount of food every hour or on the hour, those type of things. So she literally has a counselor that she talks to because she has it causes her mental issues because she's so restrictive with what she eats. And of course it's for a competitive thing, and of course it's because she has this passion for weightlifting and bodybuilding, but it comes with its cons. So yeah. You gotta find a balance. And that's why I'm really big into lifting, and I'm really big into health and fitness and personal training and all of that, but I'm more on the intuitive eating side. I don't have time to be counting calories, because I know that I'll fall into that trap too of like, you just ate a whole burger, girl, you need to go get on the treadmill. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how I want to feel. I want to feel good about whatever I'm eating, whether it be deemed good, or bad.
And I feel like I definitely can fall in that too. I feel like I maybe almost have, not necessarily like counting calories, but like just being so strict on what I can and cannot eat. Like I might see some chips that I really want to enjoy, and they're not necessarily even the worst chips in the world, but like I might go get it and about to eat. I'm like, no, let me just go get some fruit, which is a good thing sometimes, but sometimes it's like, I feel like right now I'm trying to find that healthy balance of like eat for your pleasure as well. And I think Jasmine talks a lot about that when, we just have our regular conversations. I listen to her talking about like eat for pleasure. Like I feel like Jasmine and I, one of our favorite candies, she put me onto it, was the little like ropes. Like,
the sweet tart ropes.
They are not good. They have no nutritional value, but like they are something that's tasty to us. You know what I mean? Like every now and then, of course. But it probably has high fructose corn syrup in it, which I literally do not like that ingredient at all. But like, I feel like I just cannot eat that stuff ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. And I feel like now there's, like I said, there's a balance. Like you said, if I go buy some sweet tart ropes today and I eat like, and the pack, and watch your serving sizes too, because the serving sizes matter. Like if it says it's 400 calories in 2 little pieces, babe, like it's probably not that good for you. So it's just like, watch that too. But at the same time, it's like, if I know that I just had a whole slice of cake, I know that I just drank two big glasses of lemonade, I know that I just had, I don't know, Burger King for dinner, and I haven't drank no water, I probably shouldn't go for them sweet tart ropes. I probably should go for a cup of watermelon or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But if
honestly, you need you some water. That's water. A lot of shit.
Yes, ma'am. Some water. But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if I know that I've been eating healthy, I know that I've been, eating for wealth and eating for health, there's nothing wrong with indulging in something, a sweet, whatever that you want, or a salty, or whatever it is, you like.
Cookies, or like even if you want like a small donut or something, I do feel bad sometimes. Like it makes me eat, but I'm trying
that's
to
a mental thing that you have to work through as an individual.
Yeah,
and what
I'm
you
trying to work on that.
Yeah. And we're not perfect. Like sometimes, and I will also say, now that I'm plant-based and things like that, every now and again, I do get a really, really, really bad craving for some chicken wings, like really, really bad. And maybe I will go get some chicken wings once a year, twice a year at most.
I used to be like that. I used to, sometimes I used to like crave Chick-fil-A. It was only Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Only that. And I was at that point too, where I was like you just said, like maybe once a year. But like I have moved totally out of that. Like I don't even really crave that anymore.
Yeah. And I be trying to like really tap into where that craving stems from. Cause like I said, it doesn't happen often. Like obviously when I first started my journey, it was a mental battle. Like, cause I used to eat Chick-fil-A like every other, all the time, you know what I'm saying? Or like Wingstop or things like that. But when I reversed and I changed my eating patterns, you start to change your mental patterns with your eating patterns. And I never really craved it. And it'll be the randomest times. And I'll be trying to tap into where that craving is coming from. Why am I feeling this way? And a lot of times, either A, it's because I'm about to be on my cycle, or two, I'm in a mentally draining state. Like mentally, I'm not doing well. Like mentally, I'm fatigued. Mentally, I am low. You know what I'm saying?
Like one of those things where it's like your room gets like a certain way, and it's like, yeah, I'm not mentally there. Kind of like that.
Yeah, just like that. It's like I feel very cluttered. And I feel like sometimes, and for a lot of people, food can be an escape. And I think that's where that kind of craving comes in for me. And that can be not even chicken, but sometimes just other things. Like sometimes I really, really, and it's specifically a 7-Eleven apple fritter. I don't know what it is, but I be craving it. And it's like, when you start to crave things, really tap into why you're craving those things. And sometimes like your body really needs it. Like after a hard workout, my body's like, you need to go eat a sweet potato right now. Like something hearty, something filling, something, nutriently dense. And listen to those cravings, but also listen to the bad cravings and like, okay, where's my mental at? Where am I emotionally?
That's where like discipline comes in, right?
Yeah.
And that's the mental stuff that she's talking about that also plays into just eating a certain way. So definitely discipline when you're eating healthy. Like
for sure.
When I be wanting to eat those chips and I be like, nah, let me go give me some fruit.
That's
when that kicks in, and that's when it's like, all right, let me just do what's best for me. But just be careful that it doesn't turn into like a disorder.
And that's the balance. That's the balance. Yeah. And the balance part is difficult because you can find yourself teetering on either edge of like being super, super healthy and like, I can only eat this, I can only eat that, or like being like, you know what, I don't even care. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just eat whatever. So yeah, it definitely requires a lot of intention and a lot of mindfulness when it comes to trying to live a healthy and balanced lifestyle.
Yeah. So through this journey, what would you say is your favorite, like, what's your favorite, do I want to say meal or snack? Or just like, what has been your favorite thing with transitioning into this lifestyle, like thing to eat, period?
Well, I think my favorite, I have a lot of favorite things.
It's a lifestyle, really.
It's definitely a lifestyle. And I think we talked before, kind of going sideways a little bit. We talked before about the men that we wanted to attract. And I think not necessarily the fact that eating meat, I'm against eating meat. I think people who are intentional about being plant-based are intentional about what they're putting in their body. So like, even if you do eat meat, are you intentional about when and where and why? You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little side note. But
sorry, I don't mean to continue the side note, but like the biggest thing for me is the why. Like I need you to know what, like, it's important, like you said earlier, to read those ingredients of what you're putting into your body and why certain things are important to put in your body and why certain things aren't important to or why certain things are important to keep out of your body. And if you know that why and you still eat those things, then cool. Like then that's just you. But like if you're just eating these things and you don't know why,
you don't
like
even know, you're ignorant.
That's when I draw the line, and it's like, okay, like I need you to know the why. I need you to know the why.
I need you to understand, because one thing this lady told me, or didn't tell me, but I saw, she was like, the front is for entertainment, the back is for education. Know what you're putting in your body and know why you're putting it in your body. And if it's because you're feeding a craving, cool. If it's because you're trying to reach this calorie count or you're trying to reach this fitness level goal or whatever, cool. Just, know why you're eating and not just eating just because, I feel hungry.
Exactly. Because you can still get healthy, good things. Oh my gosh, there's a discrepancy with that. Like people think it has to be healthy and nasty.
And it's nasty. No.
The food is so good, y'all.
I be good. Oh.
It's so good. It's better than when I didn't even eat fast food like that, but like it's better than that stuff.
Yeah. And I work at this restaurant called First Watch, and a lot of the food there has meat in it, but I eat from the more plant-based items on the menu, and I be putting everybody at my job on. They be like, "Oh my God, that veggie sandwich is smacking." I'm like, I told you. I tried to tell you.
My sister, she actually texted me not too long ago, a few weeks ago, like, okay, so why didn't nobody tell me that veggie sandwiches are actually good?
Okay.
I tried to tell you to try it, but you kind of laughed at me. No, she ain't never laughed at me. I'm lying. She never laughed at me, but like, yeah, you should have tried it. And now actually Maya is trying to start pescatarian, trying to be pescatarian.
Good for her. And she's in California, so she has a wealth of options out there. Yeah, she living her best life. Yeah. But I digress again to your question. My favorite thing to eat, honestly, nothing beats a kava bowl. If y'all don't know what kava is, or y'all don't have a kava near you, baby, go to kava expeditiously, like right now. Oh my God. Kava, it's like a Mediterranean restaurant. For those who don't know, it's like a Mediterranean restaurant, but it's like Chipotle style. So they have different types of greens, they have rice, they have lentils, and then you go down this line and the sauces, y'all, it's the sauce that makes it. They got like all these different types of sauces. If you're into meat, they have lamb, they have chicken, they have all this other stuff. If you're not, they have falafel, they have cauliflower, carrot, vegetable mix.
Yeah, vegetable mix, or they have like a fajita type of pepper mix.
Yeah, girl. Oh my God. Kava, so good. And they have like these white sweet potatoes. Just thinking about it. Huh?
I said I ain't never had those there.
Oh yeah, they bust.
Okay,
they're so good. You gotta try it. Okay. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things. Like even making them at home. Like I just love a good stir fry.
Or a good power bowl.
Yeah. Or a wrap. Like, yeah, those are probably my top things. Like a nice bowl or a wrap. Because they always make me feel full, but I feel like I can go. Like I feel full, but I feel ready to go.
I think some of my favorite things are definitely acai bowls.
Ooh.
I'm a foodie girl. I love some fruit.
A nice smoothie?
Yes, a nice smoothie bowl, specifically with the granola and the honey and the banana.
Coconut flakes and
with the peanut butter or almond butter. Yes.
Oh, I don't do that, but you got it.
I love it.
I don't like peanut.
No, okay, that's okay. I also really, really like Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are really good. Roasted Brussels sprouts. I love them in a good stir fry. Brussels sprouts, cabbage, asparagus.
Sometimes spinach.
I like raw spinach more than cooked spinach.
Yeah.
Raw spinach can get kind of slimy.
Yeah, it can. What else do I really, really like? Okay, so if we want to talk about substitutes or like alternative as far as meat goes, I love jackfruit.
Jackfruit is good.
Yes, like a barbecue type of style sandwich. It really goes well. I was talking to someone earlier about jackfruit, and she was saying how she had it and she really didn't like it. I'm like, well, I really only enjoy it when it's like with a barbecue sauce type of deal. That's when I like it, because when you just kind of have it, and even if you season it, we have without the sauce, it's not that good.
It's not that good.
But it makes like a good like shredded type of, if you're looking for a shredded pork or shredded chicken type of feel, it'll make a good thing for that.
For sure.
And also,
one thing that no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm trying to tap into like using mushrooms more, like different mushrooms, and like frying them, or baking them, or making like little I've seen people make like stir fries with them and stuff like that.
I have yet to try the fried oyster mushrooms.
Yeah, me either.
I have yet to try them, and I have to try them. But I was about to say,
I want to do a cooking episode.
Okay, because we can go here and chef it up. But no, I was about to say, one thing that the vegan or the plant-based community raves about that I really can't get behind are chickpeas. I am not a chickpea girl. They're not my thing. They have a weird texture.
But you like I
like quinoa. I like lentils.
Okay. But you like what's it called? The dip. What's it called?
Oh, hummus.
Like hummus.
I can get behind hummus because it's like a smooth consistency. Every chickpea that I ever had that was just like roasted or sauteed in something, it's just like a weird bean. I'm not a big bean girl either.
They're okay. Chickpeas are okay. I sometimes eat them in my salad, but I wouldn't say that they're necessarily my favorite. But I definitely love falafel.
Oof. Yeah. And that's another thing. Like, it's that bean texture that I can't get behind. But falafel is good because it's like mashed. Like, I don't get that. I don't know. I'm very picky about my chickpea, I guess. I can't do all chickpeas. So
that's funny. But yeah, those are some of my favorite things. But Jasmine, if you don't have anything else to talk about on the topic, are you ready to go into the tip of the day?
I sure am.
All right.
Get to it. Nothing but to do it.
Do you have one ready?
I think my key takeaway, or my key point of this conversation, was to just be intentional about what you eat. Know that some things that work for you may not work for others, and some things that work for others may not work for you, like vice versa. And for those who like want to get started on eating healthier and who just don't know where to start, I would say tap into what you like eating. Like, think about the things that you like eating. And if your first answer is burgers and fries, then or chicken fingers and fries, then let's think about expanding your palate. So let's maybe not do chicken fingers and fries. We can do chicken fingers and sweet potato, or we can do chicken fingers and salad. And there's a million types of salads. Okay. And salad, I think people think is,
you can cut it up and put it in your salad.
You feel me? Another thing about salad though, once you throw them ranches and Thousand Islands and all that, it's no longer healthy, babe. Yeah. Just go ahead and eat the burger.
Honestly, like a good dressing for it is like a vinaigrette or like a olive oil. Honestly, olive oil, season your salad and put some olive oil on it. I love it that way. I really do. I prefer it that way at this point.
Once you start eating healthier, you will start to crave the healthier things, but you got to start somewhere, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, just start switching things slowly, gradually. Don't try to do it all at once. Don't try to, see your favorite Instagram or your favorite people that you're following and what they eat and try to just go straight for that, because that, at least it didn't work for me. I had to really figure out what I liked and just experiment with food, get to know food on a different level. So that would be my tip of the day.
My tip of the day would be intuitive with your eating, and know that it's also a mental thing, and it's something that can help your overall wellness. So once you start, what Jasmine said, once you get into that and you figure out, okay, I'm starting to eat healthy and everything, like, actually really pay attention to your body, like, and know what
your mental and your brain
and how you're feeling, because it all ties into one. And this is what we mean, like, that it's a lifestyle. It's not just like regular eating. It's
not a diet.
It's not a diet. It's not that. It's not a trend or anything. This is a lifestyle. So just make sure that you're able to tap into it intuitively and listen to your body and try to figure out what it's asking for, and go with that. Now be careful when I say what it's asking for, because it could be asking for junk, right? So just be careful with what
if that's what it's used to, that's what it's going to ask for. So
So I mean, like, if it's asking for something sweet, don't necessarily just say, okay, well, I'm gonna go buy like a whole dozen of donuts. Okay, no, maybe you can get some fruit. Maybe you can even get some. I used to love this thing, cashews and honey, raw honey. I used to dip that. Jasmine and I used to do that sometimes. You dip it and it'll be so good. You do something like that. Just get very creative. I would say get creative with it. Get creative with your eating. And it turns out really fun, and it can be very, very good when you start to actually mix real spices, real ingredients, real organic things from your local farmers markets, or just like Whole Foods, or we have like Elwood Thompson here in Virginia, or like Mom's Organics. That's another great place. Sometimes, I mean, some people like Aldi, I don't really care for it, but certain places like that, get creative with it, and make sure that you're picking the right choices of what you're putting into your body, and just listen to it.
And have fun. Drink your water, kids.
And drink your water, and limit your cheese. It really will help your mucus. Limit your cheese, okay? So that's all for me. If Jasmine would be grateful for doing our closing.
Absolutely. So once again, thank y'all for listening to the Mental Breakdown. We've loved having this conversation today. Me and Asia are just so passionate about food and wellness. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation as much as we have. You can follow us at TMBD Official on Instagram. You can follow us on YouTube at The Mental Breakdown. We post all of our podcasts on there. We're also streaming on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify. I think there's one other one that I'm not remembering at the moment. But yeah, you can follow me at journey.w.jazz, and you can follow Asia at
Earth to Asia. And I did want to add something today. So recently I added something to our Spotify Anchor page. If you go on there, you can click support. You'll see something that says support by it. And if you just have it in your heart that you want to give us donations, you certainly can, and we're definitely open to it. But obviously this podcast is free for you to listen. But if you just have it in your heart, you can definitely go onto the Spotify Anchor page and hit our support button to support us. We would love that, and we will greatly appreciate that.
Right, because podcasts ain't free, babes, and we want to give y'all the best content, and we want to keep pushing for new content and just keep expanding so we can give y'all the best show and the best wellness podcast that we can. So
for sure, we want to give like bonus clips. We want to give behind the scenes stuff. So just keep supporting us if you love it here, and we want to give to y'all. We just want to cater and give to y'all. Okay. Absolutely. We want to have fun and interact with y'all. So
yeah, that's all I have for the day. If Asia, that's all you have for the day, then we will see you all again next week.
We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mental Breakdown podcast. Please rate, subscribe, review, and follow us on Instagram at TMBD Official. See you next time.